In this video, guys, we're going to look at companies that are still led by their founders. Hey traders and investors, a very warm welcome to you. Okay, thank you for joining me. Companies that are still led by the founders. There is a kind of sentiment out there that if a company is still run by the founding partner or sole founder, then the captain of the ship is steering it soundly. He's got a vision, he's had a vision from the beginning, or she's had a vision from the beginning, and it's been steered through kind of all sorts of rocky waters and turbulent waters. And the belief generally, whether it's right or wrong, I'd be interested to know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section below, is that the founder is in the best possible position to drive the company forward. Now, that's not always the case, as we have seen with history. We've seen where sometimes founders have ruined things. This best possible thing for the company is that the founder's been turfed off, and then the company's grown a little bit, and sometimes the founders come back in again, and that kind of thing. So it's not as clear cut as that, but generally speaking, the general consensus seems to be with the street, with hedge funds, with institutions, and maybe with retail investors as well. Like I say, I'm interested in your thoughts on it. Is that if the founder's still in charge of the company, then it's a solid bet. They've got a little bit more kind of edge to it, if you like, than a company that's not led by the founder. Perhaps he puts in more work, he or she puts in more work. Perhaps they're a bit more committed, perhaps a bit more focused than someone just being paid on a salary role as a CEO. Well, obviously they'll have some share options as well, potentially. So it might not just be that, but rather than the financial incentive, it's more of, okay, this is my baby, I built it, I need to put on the pressure and make sure things work. So with that being said, here's a list of companies, or some companies, that are still led by the founders. How many have I got for you here? But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 companies that are still led by the founders. Let's go. Common ones that we know first, guys. Obviously, Amazon, Jeff Bezos, big company. We all know how that started. That's a great story, and no one watching this video doesn't know Amazon or Jeff. I wouldn't say they know Jeff personally, but Mr. Bezos, shall we call him. Facebook, of course, Mark Zuckerberg, he's still in charge and he's still running it, and arguably he's doing a good job of it. Share price seems to be doing okay, depending on when you're watching this. Maybe you're watching this and it's absolutely been hammered. It has a bit pulled back with the market, but that's it. Generally speaking, these guys are making money. He's had a lot of challenges along the way, right? Just like Amazon, but he seems to have overcome them. The big one that specifically I remember was Facebook stock was getting absolutely hammered and they were struggling to monetize mobile. Figured it out, stock rallied, multiple 100% moves on that. Okay, Tesla. We all probably know Tesla and Elon Musk. Now I've put a little star here because at the time of the video, he's no longer CEO, he's chairman. There's a lot of things about him writing tweets, and he was kind of a little bit, basically it was a deal done by the SEC because he wrote a tweet which said that he had secured funding and etc, etc. I've actually done a video purposefully just on that if you want to check that out. But anyway, cutting to the chase, he's chairman, so in reality he's probably still steering the ship, he's just not CEO. So we can put him on there, we'll count him as that. FedEx as well. Frederick Smith founded FedEx, which used to be called Federal Express, I believe. Then we changed the name, 93 was it? Because he wanted people around the world to be able to pronounce it easier. Anyway, he's in charge and he's still running that huge parcel or logistical company in the US. Then we've got Twitter and Square. Jack Dorsey founded both of these. Now Twitter's an interesting one because he actually, can't remember the reason why, but he stepped down as CEO for Twitter, then came back into it. It was struggling. It kind of, at the time of this video, it's still not doing fantastic. The share price isn't exactly rocketing, but you know, he's guiding it. He's still pushing ahead. And same with Square. You know, this is the payments platform, and he's kind of a little mini Elon Musk, if you like, isn't he? He's got quite a few things on his plate. Netflix started out as a DVD rental service, pivoted loads. The famous thing of they offered themselves to Blockbuster. Blockbuster basically laughed at them and said, "Hey, it's never going to work." We all remember that story. So Reed Hastings now still in charge of Netflix, still steering that in a direction. Controversy around Netflix, as we know, in terms of subscribers, are very vulnerable to subscriber growth, this kind of stuff. But this is not a Netflix video. This is really companies led by the founders. Right, Snapchat, of course, Evan Spiegel, young guy running Snapchat. Again, similar kind of chart to Twitter, maybe different when you're watching this, but you know, not doing as well as it could be. But you know, arguably, if he's still got a vision for it, maybe it'll turn around. A lot of these kind of stocks started out struggling or had big kind of peak to trough pull downs before they accelerated up. So maybe Snapchat's due that. But Evan Spiegel's kind of running the ship there. And then we've got Interactive Brokers. Thomas Peterffy, I believe you pronounce his name, Peterffy. Interactive Brokers, great platform. Actually, I use it personally myself for some trades, specifically on the US exchanges. He is still running it. He's still driving it. It's a really good platform. A lot of institutions use it. Some retail brokers as well, retail traders as well use it. And it seems to have good traction, specifically in the US and now worldwide as well, to be fair. And then finally, we've got iRobot, Colin Angle. He founded this, I believe, with two others. You might be able to correct me on that one, guys. iRobot, technology company in robotics. He's still at the helm of that one and driving it forward. So 10 companies that are still led by their founders. Arguably, it's a good attribute to have, which we'll see what happens in the next few years with these stocks. Take care wherever you're investing in. Bye-bye.